All right, guys. We're awake. All right. All right, guys. So today we got GDP data. All right, guys. So GDP data expected at 2.1%. Jobless claims expected at 215 today. We also have pending home sales at 10. We also have Jerome Powell at 4. We also have PCE data tomorrow. A lot of stuff going on in the next couple days. What's up, Nikki K, SB? Hey, good morning, guys. We're gonna do a poll right now. I'm gonna get some music going too. I do this poll. Does GDP data come in higher or lower than expected? Higher, lower, as expected. All right, so we're gonna do as expected and then neutral. Or then I don't know, not neutral. We also have jobless claims, guys. And so again, we do have some other stuff coming out today too. Hold on one second. Let me get all this stuff up. Um, all right, so again, you can kind of see Nvidia had a lot of comeback yesterday before the end of the day. We're back up to 423s. If we look at the SPY itself, the SPY did the very same thing, which had a really weak, first half of the day, and then really started to come back towards that second half of the morning. Um, yeah, I'm looking at this to see what happened yesterday. What happened in the second half of the day? What made the rebound happen? GameStop board elects Ryan Cohen as president and CEO effective immediately. Tesla reported 26 environmental incidents at its Berlin Gigafactory since it opened a year and a half ago. Uh, Again, what happened in the second half of yesterday? Bank of America raises targets. Yeah, I'm looking at the second half. I don't really see much. OpenAI is reportedly in advanced discussions with former Apple designer Joni Ive and SoftBank's Masayoshi Son to launch a venture with $1 billion in funding to build the iPhone of AI, according to FT. That news came out yesterday. Certainly helped prop up Nvidia. A government thing, government shutdown news. Yeah. Schumer, the Senate will vote to keep the government open. Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the shutdown's supposed to begin Sunday if no deal is reached. Yeah, I'm looking at the other news. Do y'all think a shutdown's gonna happen? That could be a poll we get. Like, will a shutdown happen? I know we're looming. Saturday's the deadline. So yeah, Saturday's the deadline for this shutdown. Again, vote on the poll. Hit the like button if you haven't already. That's super helpful. So far, 31% think we're going to come in higher than expected for GDP. 31% think lower. 19% think as expected, and 19% said I don't know. Um, all right. So basically, what happened is that yesterday, Democrats and Republicans reached an agreement on a CR that will keep the government open until November 17th. Um, and so you can kind of see this here. This is what caused the big run up yesterday in markets. You can kind of see that. And again, pop the like button if you haven't already, guys. We got about 50 people here. I know I'm started early today. It's GDP day. It's definitely earlier than I have been starting it. But yeah, today we got GDP data coming out. Uh, yeah, Top Step. I went on Top Step yesterday. It was fun. Yeah, what's up, Steve? Yeah, hit the like button for a Green Day. Yeah, or for good luck or whatever you want to do. Yeah, so yesterday afternoon, Dems and Repubs reached an agreement on a CR that will keep the government open until November 17th. And with a strong bipartisan vote of 77-19, the Senate agreed. So, yeah, they're not trying to shut it down. Again, a lot of this is posturing. Again, when you think about politics, man, a lot of this is posturing. November is election season. So, in like a month, basically, uh, it's election season. And, certain sides are going to try to push other sides not only to the brink of, where it looks bad is really what they're focusing on. Like they want the other side to look bad. They understand uh they understand elections are in November to a certain extent, and with that they're just kind of pushing to make the other side look bad is what it is. And again, I'm not saying that it doesn't I'm not saying both sides don't have valid points. They do. But, you know, a lot of it is just political posturing. That's what this is. And it should be obvious. Hey, what's up, anonymous? Yeah, again, you can kind of see the market react to this here. So you can kind of see the market fly, which is good. Nvidia needed it. Here's the spies upward movement. It kind of needed that as well. Yeah, and it's just looking much better. All right, guys. So, yeah. So again, look at the pop. We'll see if we hold spy right over the that level, and we'll see if they hold also. Top three early starters in the world. Yeah, we're definitely pretty early right now. It's 6:30 in the morning. So yeah, I mean, again, I'm reading about this, and I'm just not a political person, man. Like I just dislike both sides. Um, I just dislike both sides. I don't really like both sides. I think they're both toxic in their own ways. I think they both push the elite, the ultra rich. I think they both do it. Um, they both get packed money from big corporations and the ultra elite, and I think that's very obvious. They both push, agendas that favor those groups. And again, it's both sides. It's really not just one. You might think it's just one, but it's actually obviously both of them. And again, I'm just not about anybody that I'm just not a person that roots for my political party like they're my football team. You know what I mean? No, I can't, Steve. Yeah, market's looking good. I mean, it's looking better. I wouldn't say good. I mean, it's at 426. It's right around where it was yesterday at the open. Um, oh, the music is off. My bad. I'm sitting here rocking out the music. Uh, yeah, I mean, I think that probably would be a good option. Is make. Uh, I think money's always going to be involved, though. Like I think it's inevitable. To getting money out of it is impossible. It's just not going to happen because, like, even if you said, "Hey, political stuff," you don't get paid for politics, like for being a political member, or whatever. To being, in the House of Reps, to being in Congress, or the Senate or whatever. Um, if they said, "Hey, you don't get paid for that," people would still do it for money reasons, right? And the way you can tell is because you can look at all the major political leaders and look at their net worth, you know, um, and understand that they didn't get that from their salaries, you know. Most of them didn't. Hey, thank you, Kay, for the donation, brother. Thanks so much, man. And so, like, no matter which way you look at it, money's going to be involved, unfortunately. And again, I talked about this before. As a capitalist myself, you know, I don't know if other forms of government are necessarily better either. Uh, as a capitalist myself, I think that, and I'm gonna have to tread lightly here, but as a capitalist myself, I think if you tried something like, if you tried to do some type of, socialism type of thing, which again can be good in small groups of people, right? Small groups of people, communism, same thing. It can be good in small groups. But when you grow a huge country with hundreds of millions of people in it, like the United States, which I think has like for 300 million, 320 million people in it, when you have that many people, people are going to retain power no matter what, regardless of how much you try to stop it. People are going to retain power, right? I guess I would rather the people who ultimately end up retaining power to have to work for it. If you just blindly give people power without working for it, corruption can reign supreme. You know what I mean? And so that's not much better. Giving people power and then, corruption is going to be rampant there as well, right? And people always have this ideological look at it like, oh, well, if it ran perfectly, it's like, well, yeah, but it's never going to run perfectly because humans are corrupt in nature, and so it's just kind of, it's impossible to get rid of, I guess. And you got to just kind of understand it. But again, I'm not really political. I dislike both sides, if you can't tell by listening to me. Again, GDP, jobless claims, 2.2% is what they're expecting for GDP. gonna be a busy day for me, to be honest. Oh shoot, man. Oh man, dude, I'm not gonna be able to. Oh, damn. I've been doing private Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lessons. And I was supposed to do one today at 3, but I just realized I'm not going to be able to do it. I wonder if I could bump it. Let me ask. No. There goes that. No. It's nothing with markets. Again, I was supposed to do a private class today at 3, right, when Jerome Powell is going to be speaking. And so I'm going to have to cancel my lessons. I'm old, bro. So like at jiu-jitsu, I got to get good. I'm a very competitive person. And I'm old. And so it's like, I got to have an edge on the youngsters I'm competing against, you know. Yeah, we'll see if Jerome Powell pumps us. We'll see. He might not, man. You know, you never know. You can't tell where the market's going from a Jerome Powell press conference at all. I'm not old as relative, Steve. In jiu-jitsu terms, I'm super old, bro. Like I'm ancient, you know. But yeah. So it's all relative, sir. Interesting. Yeah, so again, market's looking okay. Nvidia back up, SPY back up some. Yeah, we'll be streaming. Again, it's very short. He's just got the opening remarks for... anytime Jerome Powell speaks publicly, I cover it, though, of course, you know. But yeah. Yeah, for sure, Martin. I mean, I'm going to cover it regardless, but still. Again, y'all do me a favor. Hit the like button. Bump those numbers up. We got about 100 votes. I know we're really early. Again, I know we're really early, but hit that like button. Watch the market bounce here. Look at the SPY bounce back up. All right, so again, SPY is pulled back heavily, man, and I think we got to look at a long-term chart. Here's a long-term chart. So here's the year. Right now, there's a couple conclusions we can, get from looking at this long-term chart. One of them is that if we go by this bottom low, I think this is a very crucial spot we're in now. If you look at the confirmation points to this trend I've drawn, they're right here. And which would make the next one right where we're at now, which is a big level. I think it's important to watch this because it's a big level. You got the top, you got the top, you got the top. Yeah, but ChatGPT's been able to search the internet. All you got to do is go to Bing and you can search it. And then so again, GDP data expected at 2.1%. We're expecting 2.2% growth quarter over quarter. Last time it came in at 2% growth quarter over quarter. We also have jobless claims today expected at 215K. Yeah, I saw GameStop elected Ryan Cohen as CEO. I thought he was already CEO. Maybe he was temp CEO. I don't think that's as big as news as you might think it is regarding Cohen. I saw the news, though. I thought he was already CEO. Maybe I'm just mistaken. See, I wish my voice would stay deep like this all morning. It's just because I just woke up this morning. People have said that I'm intentionally making my voice deep. I don't necessarily think I have a super deep voice. I think as the day goes on, I end up sounding like Pee Wee Herman. I have a raspy voice, but when you put yourself on the internet, you realize like insecure people are going to try to critique you no matter what for everything. Up 10% in 45 minutes. Yeah, let's look at GameStop here. Nvidia looking good. Getting GameStop at 1870s here, guys. 1870s for GameStop. Let's see if it holds. Let's see if it continues. Yeah, it's just morning voice. No one is using Bing AI to write their papers. Bing is ChatGPT bad. So Bing is ChatGPT, bro. So Bing AI is ChatGPT. That's what it is. It's just ChatGPT connected to the internet. Eurozone. Yeah, we did have European something today, right? Let me see. No, maybe that's tomorrow. So yeah, we didn't have anything today. We got ECB speaking. Tomorrow we have, tomorrow we got Eurozone CPI. They're expected at 4.5% year over year. You think Bitcoin will crash? No, I mean, not unless they come out with like some really bad news for it. And that's what's going to make Bitcoin is almost purely news driven, man. I mean, it moves, but it's almost always catalyst driven. Like it never has like a big bull run generally lately without a catalyst or a bear run. And so in that regard, it's stable. Yeah. Chart of ES and NQ look like somebody with size and is playing ping pong. Yeah, it's probably pretty flat today. Again, the real question is, does this trend hold? GameStop ripped up, but GameStop was down a lot, man. Yeah, because again, like what I see is this trend, right? I see this trend, and I think this is like a really important pivot point. Like I said, when you look at this trend, I think this is a really important pivot point right there. And I think you can kind of see the low we had way back last year down here. You can see the next low right here on a daily chart, and you can kind of see this next point is a really important pivot point. But I think it's a really important support level as well. And I think like September's about to end in the next couple of days. It might be time finally for to get some bull runs. Market's been really red. All right, team. What's up, Jonathan? I guess you heard GameStop. Yeah, but wasn't he already CEO? That's my question. Wasn't he already CEO? Palantir. Palantir up to 15s. Yeah, Palantir making another run, man. AI is looking better. We had some good AI news as well. Again, I keep asking this, but wasn't Cohen already CEO? At least interim CEO. There's GameStop starting to rip. Again, a couple other people have also brought in Palantir. I thought already CEO. Yeah, I thought he was already CEO. Maybe I was wrong. He was chairman. Okay, so he wasn't CEO. He was already chairman. Market must pump up today. Yeah, it's an important level. Again, the level we keep drawing here that I think looks very important is this. I think if you look here, that's a really important trend line. I think, we have a very obvious long-term trend here. Might not be the beautiful trend that you guys want, but I think this is a very obvious trend. And so I think where we're at now at 420 makes a lot of sense to pay attention to. And yeah. What is KMX earnings? CarMax. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're not real, Mandy, but I got to be honest here. Anytime I see a picture like that, usually it's some dude overseas in the Middle East. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you're not real, but like I'm skeptical, which I think everybody should be on the internet when you see that, But cheers to you guys. Hope you guys are doing well today. What's up, Mandy? What's up? It's bad. Maybe you are real. Let me see. I can always look at the page. There's just a lot of fake people in trading, Okay, I think you might actually be real because you've got old videos, Either way, it's always so hard to tell. I'm skeptical about Mandy too. Yeah, I mean, Stacy, listen, I'm skeptical about you too. I'm not saying y'all are real. I'm just saying, could be some dude named Bob overseas in the Middle East, What I've seen so many scams is why I'm skeptical. Again, like I've seen people in my Discord, especially, it happens the most. And so forgive me for being skeptical. If you're real, my apologies. No, I see people in our Discord pretend to be a female. So that they can, for lack of a better word, pander to desperate dudes on the internet and like act like they're their friends and then slowly ask for money over time and be like, yeah, I wish my account was larger. I'm just struggling so much in life. It would be really nice if somebody gave me $50 today, and the desperate dudes are like, here, sure, take $50 here. I've seen that happen a lot. I'm just wondering what GameStop is running from. It's running from them electing Ryan Cohen, chairman and CEO. That's what it is. They elected Cohen, chairman and CEO. Yeah. It's bad. You're who I'm talking about. Hey, I'm sorry, Charles. That's rough. I'm skeptical of this content creator. I know it's true so many times. Yeah, for sure, Stacey, 100%. At least you understand. Oh, definitely. You should be skeptical about me. Yeah, Cohen's up. Cohen's the reason the market's pushing up. I'm the top 3 sketchiest dudes ever. How can he be CEO of 2 different companies, or did he step away from Chewy? I'm not mad, Mandy. Yeah, you're all good. You're giving us ideas. Hey, listen, if it works, it works. You know. Yeah. Again, I thought Cohen was already CEO. You know what I mean? So I thought Cohen was already CEO. Chewy down 30%. Yeah, Chewy. I mean, again, I might buy Chewy. The problem with Chewy, though, it's just so freaking volatile, man. I did buy a little bit of Chewy, actually. We bought 25 shares. Yeah, it's just so volatile. But we bought it. But it's just down so much already. You know, here's Chewy right here. It's just down a lot. That, like, this daily chart's justifiable. Now, there's always a chance it doesn't work out or that it gets really, really low, but still. Long on Amazon, Peter, don't they have like a really high PE ratio? Yeah, doesn't Amazon have like a really high PE ratio? I thought they did. 25 shares isn't worth bothering, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, listen. I think that's a very no offense, Yair. You know I got your back, bro. But I think that's a very new trader mindset. I'm not saying you're new. I'm not saying that. But number one, diversification is key here, right? Like, again, my TOS account's got, 60K in it right now, like liquid, not buying power, like 60 actual, like 60,000, which isn't really like huge for trading terms, but it's not small either. And again, when you have a long-term account like this, I'm buying a lot of different stuff. So just to put this into perspective in terms of like what I'm currently holding right now, I am holding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I'm holding basically 30 different companies right now. And so when you have a large enough account, and I can either put all the money in one stock and be sketchy, because then if that one stock ends up having some really bad luck or some bad news, then, dump. My account dumps. Or I can diversify into a bunch of different stocks, which is what I choose to do, right? And so I'm not going to go super hard into any one stock. Like, again, that's too polarized and too swingy. I would rather just take it really, really slow. Really, really slow. No, with Chewy, man, listen, if Chewy ends up ripping up with 25 shares, right? Say Chewy makes it up to 30. It's at 17 now. Say if it bounces back up to 30, which is not that bad. It was at $30 in August. So say it gets back up to $30, right? So we're going to do the math here. That would be $25 a share multiplied by what? 12 and a half. That's a nice little $300 gain in one stock. And again, when I'm holding 30 different stocks, and so it'll compound and work over time. But yeah. I mean, I don't have commissions. I'm on TOS. I have 0 commissions on TOS. There's no commissions here. 30 is a lot, though. I mean, it was at 30 in August. I mean, yeah, it's like 40% higher. Or no, I'm sorry. It's like 80% higher. 70, 80% higher, but it's still, it was there in August. And again, the point is, like, this is my long-term investment account, so I'm just going to sit on it, What am I holding? Well, some of these I've accumulated in the last few days. I'm holding Exxon, Walmart, Walgreens, Tyson Foods, Tesla, Cash App, Snapchat, RTX, Roblox call option, PayPal, Pfizer, Oracle, Nike, Netflix, Microsoft, MGM, Coca-Cola, Honeywell, Home Depot, Google, Gold, Ford, Etsy, Disney, Chewy, American Express, ARM, AMC, and Apple. Is my current long-term portfolio. Not long-term. Some of these are short-term, but yeah. And some of these are big and some of these are small. My Disney trade, if you want to look at it currently, is at 81.58 right now is my entry. 81.58. It's just 20 shares. Again, here's Apple. We can look at Apple. See, they're down a lot too. Might be time to add some more to Apple though. Amazon. Let's see Amazon's daily chart too. Amazon's just up too much on the year. What about Apple? Apple's looking a lot better though. September slump's almost done. I'm going to add just a little bit to my Apple trade. My Apple trade is one in which we bought it. It ripped up. We took profit, and then we sat on the rest. And so, you know, yeah, our average price is 173s right now for Apple. So we're doing okay. Microsoft, we're in Microsoft also. But it was a trade that we ripped up, made money on, and now we're sitting on basically. But it's got such a big range. Yo was destroyed last 2 days, hit the daily loss limit twice. Sorry to hear that. Hey, do me a favor, guys. Bump the like button if you haven't already, team. Again, hit the like button. We got 37. Vote on the poll, too. That's helpful. Yeah, maybe. Again, we got Powell speaking at 4. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what Powell says. I don't know if he's going to influence the market really heavily. I mean, we cover all his speeches. I just don't think he's going to influence the market big. Again, the market mostly bounced yesterday. If you look at it here, here's the NASDAQ. We bounced yesterday afternoon after Dems and Repubs reached an agreement on a CR that will keep the Gov open until November 17th. Yeah, so basically, yeah, we got a couple more. Volt. Bing is gaining market share to Google. Traffic is 90% Google, 10% Bing. Yeah, I mean, people are going to be using Bing AI for sure more. That's pretty understandable. All right, look at the Q pull back here. So, again, the Q basically slightly red today, which is interesting because the SPY is slightly green. So tech is down a little bit, but the rest of the market is up. I don't know if I hurt my collarbone or what doing Jiu-Jitsu, but what muscle is this again? Is this my lats? This is my latissimus dorsi. I gotta. Nope, that's not it. This is my. It's my traps, right? Got my lats, my traps. I always get those mixed up. Yeah, these are my traps. All right. I got like pain in my traps right around my neck and my collarbone. For a little bit, I thought I broke my collarbone. Could just be next. It feels better today, so that's good. Astros pulled it off. And finally, man, they needed to, bro. They've been losing every freaking game. Between Tesla and Apple, which do you think is a buy at a current price? I don't think any of them's a buy. I'm not going to say anything's a buy. I don't know. I think Tesla, the extension's certainly more on the downside versus, I don't know, man. Apple's had a pullback a few weeks though. So like Apple has really been pulling back. I think they're pretty similar. I would say Apple looks a little bit more extended on the downside relative to its yearly chart, but Apple also was up more on the year versus Tesla. You know, Tesla is really technically red on the year right now where it's sitting. So Tesla 52 weeks ago was at 288. Tesla's at 230s now. Apple 52 weeks ago was at 150. It's now at 170. And so I think that's the lens you have to look at it under, is extension and whether it's red or green. So I think Apple pulling back, while it's not good necessarily, it's still pulling back on a green year where Tesla is dipping on a red year. And so if we're looking at pure extension, it's really tough, very nuanced, and I think they're pretty close. I think there's a couple things. I think Tesla is the less for sure thing long term. And while I like Tesla, I'm holding Tesla. I want Tesla to go up, and I think their cars are dope. It's certainly less for sure. Like it's going to be less stable and a less for sure thing over time versus Apple, which is obviously going to be successful over time. Rolling with my son last week. He got me good. Snapped the cartilage between my ribs and breastbone in 2 places. No broken ribs, but the pain is still insane. Yeah, I mean, this happened. So I was rolling with like one of my instructors, right? And like, again, I don't want this to seem like I'm bragging because I'm not. And I think a lot of times, like, I'm relatively new, and so they're going easy on me. But I've been catching people with my guillotine, right? So like I've been catching people with my guillotine. I talked about it last week, but I've developed like a really trappy strategy for it where I just don't do any offense when we're standing, and I force them to make the first move. And a lot of the time they run in with their head down. And so I just kind of stall and wait for them to grab my leg and try to take me down. And then I jump on the guillotine and tap them out. And I've done that to a couple different people. And so I did the same thing with my instructor, who didn't really know that was my strategy, right? I did the same thing with my instructor, and I got him in a pretty tight guillotine, but he stood up, and I'm like 5 feet in the air at this point in time. So I'm like 5 feet in the air, and I've got the guillotine, like it felt like it was fully locked in, and I just start torquing on his neck, and I don't know how he got out of it. I think he flinged me up over his head, and then I fell on the floor, and somewhere in that exchange, I don't even think I got hurt there. I think when he jumped on top of me afterwards, you know, in jiu-jitsu, you lead with your head. Sometimes I think his head whacked my shoulder and my collarbone. And I think that's what did it. But yeah. Aikido's nonsense. Aikido doesn't do anything, you know. Aikido is Steven Seagal's martial art, which is just silly. If you look at it, it's literally acting. Like they're just pretending over there in Aikido, you know. Aikido is really predatory, where they'll tell people how great it is, and like people who grew up on the 80s Steven Seagal movies will be like, yeah, Aikido sucks, man. Aikido doesn't do anything. Like a person that knows Aikido will straight up get beat up by anybody that knows their stuff in martial arts. It's the pyramid scheme of martial arts, for lack of a better word. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Not keto. I'm not talking about keto. I'm talking about Aikido, which is like, if you ever watch those cheesy 80 movies with Steven Seagal, right? Sensei Seagal is a black belt in Aikido, right? But when you look at it, it's like, ooh, look at me, I can flick my wrist. It's like, dude, it's total nonsense. They've done a lot of matches where they've said, okay, if Aikido's real, fight this blue belt, like, which is a relatively new Jui-Jitsu person, and the blue belt will just demolish the black belt in Aikido. It's just a nonsense martial art, you know. It's just it's not really effective. It's not truly effective, and the only way it ever works is if the person plays along with it. And so a lot of the time, it's like a show almost, where there's like actors, like you see Steven Seagal out here. They're literally intentionally like rolling on the ground. They're doing rolls on the ground. They're just trying to make him look good, and so it's just nonsense. Again, it's predatory. And so sure enough, the people who have spent years learning it are going to say, no, it's great. You know, they're just saying that because they've spent so much time on it. Yeah, no, all good. Do I think I could take Steven Seagal? I mean, listen. Probably not 20 years ago, but right now he's getting a little old. I think there's a good shot. I think I got a good chance. Hey, what's up, Beach? 849 corporate bankruptcies this year. Well, it's all relative to what it was last year. You know, hey, hit the like button, guys. I appreciate the love. Vote of the poll. We got over 200 votes. 41% think higher. 23% think lower. 21% think as expected. 15% say I don't know. All right, so again, I haven't posted on Twitter in a couple weeks. We did our first post. So you're really supportive. Hit that like button on this post, guys. We appreciate it. Hey, what's up, George? Yeah, I look at the VIX, which is just a volatility ETF cook. So, again, we'll see who's really supportive. Hit that like button right here for good luck. We appreciate it. Man, they said September would be red, and it was no exception. It was definitely red. Again, hit that like button for good luck, guys. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We got GDP data today, team. GDP data today. I'm gonna put a timer up like we always do. Wait, that's not right. 43. It's just so 8. And then 8:30 is going to be adding 30. So it would be 1 hour and 13 minutes, I think. I think it's a little bit. I think it'd be 1 hour and 12 minutes and 30 seconds. There you go. All right, so we got an hour and 12 minutes before GDP data comes out, guys. An hour and 12 minutes. Hey, what's up, Milton? All right, guys. Yeah, so I'm seeing this person, this poker player, Veronica Brill, talk about. I'm just curious what it is genetically or some environmental exposure that makes people like or dislike certain political stances. Again, my take on politics in general is I think those who swing really heavily to one specific side are more trusting and easy to manipulate. Ultimately, most reasonable people are somewhere in the middle, and so the people that really like root for one side, like it's their football team, generally are just easier to manipulate. A little bit more gullible people, I think. They really. It's easy for them to get wrapped up in different things, and it's hard for them to see where people are manipulating them or where people are angering them. People are using their emotions against them to, for for gain. But again, maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. I don't know if it's intelligence, more so trusting and like gullibility, if that makes sense. But maybe I'm wrong there. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Do you also consider VIX volatility when trading long and short? Well, no, I already answered that. It's a volatility ETF. And so I can look at the VIX and all that and see, but the volatility has been pretty low if you look at it over the last couple days. Yeah, so currently the VIX is under 20. And as you can see here, when the VIX is over 30, it's considered heightened volatility from increased uncertainty, risk, and investor fear. VIX below 20, and it means more stable, less stressful periods in the markets. And if you look at like how the VIX responds to days like yesterday, it's kind of the opposite, in which big run-ups. Okay, so like if you look at the VIX here, right, to understand how to read this, okay, a lot of the time it's going to move opposite to the SPY, right? And why is that? If you really think about, what the VIX is, it's a volatility ETF. It's like UVXY, TVIX. I don't even know if one of those is still around, but again, you can kind of see it's the opposite. And you might ask why this is. Why this is because as the VIX dips lower, right, as the VIX ticks lower, it's signaling again, more stable, less stressful periods of the market. And so if the market is pushing up, what does that symbolize? More stability, more strength, less stressful periods of markets, and in turn the VIX goes lower to show that. So that's kind of how you read it. I don't read the VIX a ton. I watch it occasionally, but it's not my favorite ETF, if that makes sense, Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, that might be true, Thomas. Again, it's not about any one, like, again, I get you might not like one specific person, and I understand that, right? But you can't look at the person, like they'll try to make you look at the person, right? But the person doesn't matter. You got to look at policies and what they're actually putting out in the world. But again, that's exactly my point. Is like they're getting people wrapped up in stuff that doesn't have anything to do with politics. And I think that's the point. It's like that wraps people up sometimes, and they get their pitchforks out and they get upset. And I get it, but like it doesn't really have much to do with politics. There should be higher GDP super deals from NVIDIA, super retailer sales growth, and there's a lot of global discounting from all the stores in the USA. FCC should relax norms. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, for sure, Peter. More GDP could cause inflation fears, right? So that's one of the nuances of today. Yesterday we had durable good orders, and you can see the SPY is actually technically green on the day now. If we look at the NASDAQ, if you look at the NASDAQ, we are still red on the day. SPY technically green, but not close. Did I monetize my stream? I think I did. Yes. Okay. Just let it come as expected. Yeah, I mean 2.1, 2.2% is what they're expecting for GDP, 2.1 to 2.2%. I mean, Thomas, is law enforcement not a disqualifying factor for common sense anymore? You're missing my point, though, brother. And again, I'm not against you, man. Again, I don't really side with either. I'm pretty close to the middle. Like, I'm a capitalist, but I also am very socially left. In terms of, like, I think you should be able to do whatever you want to do as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, and I think that's what freedom is, and so in that regard, like I said, I disagree with both sides a lot, but I go by policy, not person. I'm not looking at the person and looking at what they're doing wrong and looking at how good or bad each specific person is. Again, that's what they try to distract you from. Like, I'm looking at policies more than anything. And again, when I look at policies, I'm pretty neutral ground. And it's all love here, bro. It really is. I don't get wrapped up in the whole realm of politics regardless of any of that stuff, dude. I tend to like a split government. I think my guy Todd agrees with me here. Like, when one side gets too much power, it's generally not good, and so I like a split government. But anyway. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Todd, 100%. All right, guys. Hey, we got 200 people here. Hit the like button. Let's break 100 likes if we can. Looking at our votes, 41% think higher than expected here. Yeah, it's all good, dude. All right, Apple at 170s. Is this a buy level now? Apple down at 170s. My entry's pretty close to this here on Apple. Is this a buy spot right now? Is it? Where's AMC? How's AMC reacting and all this? AMC at 750s right now. We still got a ways to go before we're green there. All right, guys, GDP data today. All right, expectations are 4.1% quarter over quarter. We come in higher or lower? In 2.1%. Also, jobless claims coming out at 215 is what they're expecting. Nvidia is one to watch. So again, we got 2 hours or so, or we got about an hour left until this data release. Yeah, appreciate the love. Let's keep the growth up. Yeah, so again, I think I've shown this trend a lot. I think we can look at the Q as well and see a very similar trend here, which is this. I think when you look at the long-term trend this year, I think you can kind of see the trend and see that this is what we're getting here. You can kind of see that low there. You can see the low there. And I think this is a really important level for the long-term trend that we're seeing. Yeah, the VIX is starting to move up, which signals downward drops in markets. And you can see the SPY dipping down too. Again, you want to vote on the poll, vote on this YouTube poll that we got going on, or this Twitter poll. Also, give me a follow on Twitter if you have not already. We appreciate it. Again, 2.1% is what they're expecting. Market Watch has the expectations. I believe it's the same, right? So Market Watch has the expectation at 2.2%. So between 2.1 and 2.2% is what we're looking at. Pending home sales also dropped today, and then we also have Powell dropping later this evening. And then tomorrow we got PCE data, retail inventories, consumer sentiment. So just a lot of economic data coming out in the next couple of days. But it is September, which is dubbed slow September. It's really just a slow part of markets. And so, yeah, we'll see if we get anything good, man. No, it's not that big, Jay. I mean, it's somewhat big. It's not small, and it'll move markets. But how much it's going to move markets, we don't know. Again, another thing to watch is NVIDIA. Again, NVIDIA, incredibly important to market sentiment. It's been really moving markets a lot. Like you can see NVIDIA here. The whole market's been weighing on what NVIDIA does, and you can see NVIDIA has taken a pretty large dip from its highs up here at 500. So, back in August, NVIDIA was at over $500, got up to almost 520, if I remember correctly. It's now all the way back to around 420, but NVIDIA's had a hell of a year, man, a hell of a year. The VIX starting to move up. If we're watching the VIX, we are starting to increase a little bit intraday on the VIX, which again signals bearish action in the market and more instability is ultimately what this means. Market's not crashing at all. Again, it's a frustrating thing to have everybody always say the market's crashing, right? Usually that's, to go back to what we said, politically, like political, bias is usually what that is. Again, if we look at a yearly chart, I think the trend we have is very obvious. When we consolidate it like this and we draw it out, I think that's a pretty obvious trend that we've been in for the year. And so this isn't a crash. A crash would be what, 20%? So like, let's look. A crash would be like 20% in a couple days. Let's take a look. Okay, so just to put this into perspective, guys. All right, 20% of 440 would be this in a couple days, right? And so we're nowhere near that. We still got a lot of time left. A lot of time left. All right, team. Oh, damn. Hey guys, SPY back up to 425, 426. Liquidity injection coming. What's going on with Tesla? Yeah, I mean, Tesla has been pulling back with the rest of the market. We'll see what happens. But again, Tesla is technically red on a yearly chart. Is Michael Burry right yet? I mean, did Michael Burry say the market was going to crash? If he did, this would be a crash. Yeah, this would. No, I'm sorry. This would be a crash. And so if Michael Burry's expecting a crash, we ain't there yet. Again, I do truly think we're still in the same trend that we've been in, which is this. Maybe that's a bad look. Here, I can draw it out with actual, like, this is going to help you guys understand that this is actual, like, a legit trend. Like, look. Like, look how nice that trend is, man. That's a nice trend. Again, and we're right at the bottom of it now. And so this would be the natural pivot point for it. And September's almost done. Again, I might buy stuff up. I don't know if we're going to keep going up or not. Truly no idea. But yeah. Nike earnings? No. Nike earnings, I believe, were yesterday. Or are they today? But yeah, we're not going to cover them. They're just not big enough. I mean, Nike's a big company, but they don't have enough. Their stock isn't big, right? So, like, Nike itself is a big company, but not a lot of people watch their earnings report. Yeah, but where's his buy-in? It's bad. That's my point. It's like not a lot of people know where Burry actually got in. Again, the date of record was June 30th. But that's not necessarily his buy-in. A lot of people say he was net long. And so, yeah, it depends on where you calculate his buy-in. But a lot of people said he was net long. Hey, what's up, Shepard? Hey, good morning. Dollar index solving. Better GDP means market tanks. Not necessarily. Again, the market's fearing inflation right now, right? So the market's fearing inflation. And so it could tank the market. Again, so right, so again, GDP is expected at 2.2% quarter over quarter, 2.2%, and it really could be something in which the market does not want to necessarily see this. come in high. GDP data signals economic growth, and economic growth could be seen as a negative right now with inflation fears looming, with the Fed skipping or pausing the previous cycle. Inflation fears could be there and could be big. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, vote on my poll here, guys. Again, GDP data expected at 2.1%, higher or lower than expected. You can vote on the YouTube poll as well as the actual poll here for it. Still got about an hour before the data comes out, though, team, but we got time. All right, guys. So again, I'm trying to think. I guess the big question is it time to add to positions, right? So we've had a huge pullback. Again, we could still argue that we're in this long-term trend that you can see here on the chart, and we're right at the bottom of the trend line, which if we do bounce and if we do follow this trend means we might start to see some bullish action. The market is incredibly flat leading up to this, and if we look at the Q, we're right under the previous closing price, so we're slightly red on the day. If we look at the SPY, same thing, we are slightly red on the day. We'll see if we get any good action here. GDP data drops, jobless claims drop. You can see the timer at the top left. We got about an hour left. I mean, I think on a longer term basis, I like these trend lines. We can look at horizontal levels, and that's fine. And I understand horizontal levels as well. 420 looks like a big horizontal level, regardless of which way you look at it. I think we're right around a bounce spot here in the market. Now, it doesn't actually mean anything, and again, ultimately, anything can happen here. But I think we're pretty close to a bounce level. And maybe we bounce, maybe we don't. But I still think it's time to watch for it. Again, September's ending. We got Jerome Powell speaking today. I'm not sure what kind of sentiment he's going to have today, but it'll be interesting. I have a question. Should I sell my SQ now? Market seems to be moving up. I really don't know. We get people all the time asking about whether it's a buy or sell. Nobody knows, including me. And so you could ask me, and maybe again, I think there's an argument for a bounce right now, but I could be wildly wrong, and the market might just keep on falling. And so nobody really knows. Nobody really knows what's going to happen here. And ultimately, I use the 200 moving average a lot. It's my favorite level. I use the look, you can see I have a 200 EMA in the volume weighted average price, and you can see the 200 EMA right now. The moving averages are okay. Long term, they're all right. But, I wouldn't use the 200 EMA too much for long-term movement. Now, I hope it holds, but really we dipped underneath it for a split second here too on the intraday chart. But I think it's possible that we bounce sometime soon. Powell speaks at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shepard says, I agree, bounce soon. We are under most higher moving averages and holding the 100 moving average on most tech. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so GDP data today will be really, really interesting. Somebody lost 1.5 million trading NFTs. All right, guys. So think about this, right? The 10-year Treasury bond is on track to have 3 consecutive losing years. This would be the longest stretch of losing years in those Treasury bonds since 1787. Ooh, dude. Now AI can basically force you. Or now AI can basically do your homework for you by sending a picture. All right, guys. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Again, SPY right at this level. We still got 40 minutes plus. With the low of pre-market is 425. I think that's a pretty big psychological level that we should be watching here. 425, big psychological level we should be paying attention to. We should be watching. Hey, guys, just a little alpha. The market is going to bounce today regardless. Is the S&P 500 is at a critical heavy support level as the Dixie is overextended. Bitcoin will bounce head short. I mean, I tend to agree, David, but you never know. And again, I one thing that I hate is definitive answers. Like, what I hate is somebody saying this is going to happen today. You might be right, and I tend to agree with your sentiment, to put it into perspective, but I hate it when people do that because nobody freaking knows, man. And again, you better believe if the market doesn't do that today, we're not going to see you for a couple days, you know, and then you're going to come back and say, hey, everything's fine. And so again, I appreciate the outlook, brother. I really do. Just don't make it definitive. Don't say the market is going to do this. Say the market could do this. The market is probable to do this. Whatever way you want to phrase it. Just definitive answers are my pet peeve, bro. But it's all good. Yeah. I'm not going to say I passed. I'm not going to say I passed my real estate exam. Not my real estate exam, but my real estate educational continued education exam. I'm not going to say I used ChatGPT to look the answers up without actually having to do anything behind it. I would never, listen, you know, I don't even know what that is. I would never do that, you know, but I might have. You know, that's all I'm saying. Q hitting these levels down here. I don't know who would do something like that, you know. And again, not my actual real estate licensing exam. Put it into perspective. I got my real estate exam in 2 weeks. Or I got my real estate license in 2 weeks. But by the point where I decided I was going to get my real estate license to the point where I actually took the exam, the real estate licensing exam, and passed it, was 2 weeks. I used Champions Real Estate Online, took the courses, finished that in like 3 or 4 days, and then scheduled my exam, went and took it, passed it, and boom, I had my license. It was inactive. You got to get it activated by picking out a brokerage. But yeah. 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 It's like when calculated watches come out. I prefer GDP because I can natural flow. I think the SPY will bounce at 420. Hey, thank you, Shepard. I appreciate you. If we lose that, we drop. Yeah, I think 420 is a major level. It's everybody's favorite number, by the way, especially like potheads. But it really is like a big support level. If we look at 420 down here, again, when you look at a daily chart, 420 is the level. You know, again, you can kind of see a bunch of different things coke together here. Long-term trend, whole dollar, previous high up here, 200 EMA. You know, so you got this long-term previous high right here. So that makes 420 support. You got the previous high from here. That makes 420 support. It's a whole dollar. It's a $10. It is right around that long-term trend line as well as right around the 200 EMA. But with that in mind, I think if we do not hold that 420 level, we could be in trouble, right? The market could be in trouble. Hey, what's up, Roy? Hey, thanks so much, man. Yeah, better to say it should than will. Hey, good luck, Pawn. All right, so the UAW is threatening to expand the strikes if progress isn't made by this Friday. Both sides are headed. We'll see if the market bounces. Here's the cue. Again, I think you got to watch a couple stocks today, specifically NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a big one. You know, NVIDIA influences the whole market. Very important, very relevant. Patience over time. Do you guys see big insecurity in markets? Well, I think the market struggles. Hey, y'all hit that like button. We need 5 to break 100 likes. We appreciate that. We can do that pretty easily. Leave it to Mark Z to make me feel bad, bro. I'm in my 30s, dude. Mark Z just turned 40, bro. Just turned 40? Like, you're ugh. You've made what? 30 billion, 40 billion at 40? I'm not jealous at all. I hate you, Mark. You know, not jealous at all. All right, 420 on the SPY. Everybody's favorite number. NVIDIA, again, a lot of the market is bouncing up on this specific news as well, so we'll talk about it. We talked about this earlier, but we'll talk about it again. A lot of the market is bouncing up on this. You might ask why the market made such a quick turnaround yesterday. This all has to do with the shutdown and positive movement on the shutdown. And so, again, you can kind of see this news here, where yesterday Dems and Repubs reached an agreement on a continuing resolution that will keep the government open until November 17th. It passed with a strong bipartisan vote of 77 to 19. So basically delaying the shutdown at least until November. And that caused a lot of strength in markets. Markets ripped up on that news. NVIDIA ripped up. A lot of other stocks ripped up with us as well. And so, yeah, that's basically the news that we got going on today. You have a hotter wife than Mark? I mean, I agree, of course. I mean, I was going to agree no matter what, but like, you know, upon looking at images, no offense to her, but I definitely agree. Definitely, you know, top 3 of my hottest wives ever, for sure, is Carol. You know, Carol's definitely one of my top 3 wives ever. All right, guys. Again, we'll see if the SPY bounces. Wait, your name sounds familiar. Yeah. All right, team. Hey, we got 30 plus minutes left until the data comes out. Hey, how you doing? We're talking about how you were one of my top 3 wives ever right now. Definitely top 3 hottest wives ever right now for sure. All right, guys. Sorry, Carol, one of my top 3 wives ever. Thank you, baby. Had to talk to me about something. So, when one of the 3 top 5 wives ever right now, graces you with their presence, you give them time. Hey, thanks, Tiny. Hope you're doing well, Tiny. 150K or 50K, which you think is better? It really depends on your budget, Fister, and what your preferences are. My preferences are small size, small gains. That's just kind of how I am. Hey, thank you, Snow. Appreciate you, bro. I know your name is anonymous upside down, but I'm going to call you Snow anyway. If GDP comes in higher, we could have massive sell-offs today in the close of the month. October looks like the month to go long into big tech. Yeah, I mean, again, here's the reality of October right now, guys. So this is the reality of October. Okay. Nobody freaking knows. I hope we bounce, but October is on average a green month in markets, right? So October is generally green. But the 1987 Black Monday stock market crash happened in October. And more importantly, the 1929, also known as the largest stock market and the most notorious stock market crash in history, guess which month it happened in? October. And so just be careful, man. Again, October, while again, on average, it's a green month, it can get sketchy out there, guys. It can get sketchy. Hey, nice, Tiny. Congrats. Yeah, it depends on your style, man, And again, like y'all know me, bro. Like, I could come out and just basically lie to everybody and act like I was more profitable than I was, and just kind of in the background just reset 1,000 times and do all this different stuff so I could sell more. And again, I could do that if I want and probably make way more money pushing, but I'd rather just be real with you guys, and that's okay. I mean, honesty is good, Again, we day trade, we swing trade, we invest, we cover earnings, we cover economic data. And so, yeah. Again, Big Papa, Big Pete, Jerome Powell today, 4 p.m. Eastern time. We'll see what happens, man. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. All right, team. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon is urging clients to batten down the hatches and prepare for rates to hit 7%. 7%? I mean, aren't they already there, though? Aren't rates already 7%? At least 30-year mortgage rates. He might be talking about, other rates, but, Hey, what's up, Todd? Hey, what's up? Yeah, all good, man. Just works with the market easy. This is why we only day trade. I mean, you could only day trade. That's cool. But again, I just don't want to be another day trading guru out here slanging courses, selling stock picks, for lack of a better word, lying to their followers about everything just so that they can make more money. You know what I mean? And you know who they are, bro. Like, I'd rather just be like, hey, I don't claim anything. I don't even claim to be a good trader and sleep good at night and just not have that pressure. Pressure kills profits. Again, and we could all pretend to be more profitable than we are, and that's fine. But in the end, I'd rather just be real. And so that's what we organize our channel to be, is real. Yeah, NASDAQ again. SPY rip it all the way back. So SPY rip it all the way back up. But we also are pretty flat, pretty stagnant, pretty choppy, pretty sideways in the market right now. So it could look better. Let me create an alert on Chart Prime. Yeah, we want the Market Oracle Pro, and then we want the Market Oracle Pro. Here, we'll just create an alert here. We got, again, hit that like button, guys. We got 122 likes. Still got 30 minutes. Oh yeah, I saw that, Todd. My bad, bro. I forgot to get back with you. Again, I feel bad. I haven't really been posting on social media that much. It's been a again, I can't really go specific. We're just kind of dealing with some stuff with my son. And everything's fine. He's okay. But just some struggles on that end. It's been taking up a lot of my headspace recently. So, it's all good though. Again, guys, hit that, vote on this poll right here. So we got this Twitter poll right here. Let's see if you really support me. Hit the like button on that poll. Vote on the poll. Help your boy grow on Twitter is what we're trying to do. I'm long NASDAQ, Russell, Microsoft, NVIDIA plan is to take. Yeah, I mean, good luck, brother. Look at the market bouncing back. So SPY bouncing back, NVIDIA up over the previous closing price. We could look at Tesla here as well. See Tesla up to 239.60s, 239.60s. All right, guys, it's past 8 a.m. We got 25 minutes. Disney? We'll see if Disney bounces, man. I mean, Disney over 80s. Let's see if we get some good moves. We're in Chewy. We're in Disney. We're in Ford, too. We're actually green on Ford. We're in gold also, but... Man, Home Depot with a very large pullback. Any GDP expectations? I'm not sure, man. I don't think anybody really knows what we're going to get either for this. I don't think anybody really knows what we're going to get. I think we could all speculate and look at it, but I don't think anybody actually knows what we're going to hit here. Again, hit the like button. I know you should do that. Tesla started to move up again. Nvidia almost at 240s. Here's Nvidia. Nvidia at almost 425s, which is a good level. I think Nvidia needs to bounce back. Still not anywhere close, but I think even if it stabilizes here and holds over 400, I think 400 is the big psychological level for Nvidia. And I think Nvidia, to a certain extent, is influencing the whole market. All right, guys. I know we had the debate yesterday. Are there any other debates? The third debate is going to be November 8th. All right, guys, so we're up to 426.50s, 426.50s. Again, Nvidia still ripping up with this huge bull action. Let's see. This might have to do with the shutdown. All right, Goolsby, Cook, and Power Barkin are set to give some words later today. We had German CPI prelim data coming at 4.5 versus 4.6% expected. One of the ECB members said that says that they may require more rate hikes if data shows further steps are needed. We had jobless rate in Mexico at 3% versus 3.2%. German CPI coming in at 4.5%. I'm looking to see if we have any other news here to influence like what's going on right now. I don't think we had any big earnings today. CarMax dropped super early today. They came in flat with EPS, better than expected revenue. ACN came in better than expected with EPS, worse than expected with revenue. PTN, Palatine came in worse for EPS, better than expected for revenue. And then this evening, we got Nike and BB dropping. So those are pretty big results, pretty big ones here. We still got over 20 minutes left, and the market is flying up right now. Look at the strength. Do you think NASDAQ will bounce after GDP release if 2.2% or higher? I don't think it's that easy to predict. I think one of the nuances that we've been talking about the last couple weeks is that the market doesn't necessarily like higher economic growth, right? And with recession fears and as well as inflation fears, today's GDP data will really show us what the market is fearing. We'll really see what the market is fearing, whether the market is fearing a recession or inflation. And it's big. It's interesting. It's important. And it's important to watch because, again, we'll see what the market's fearing. Yeah, I mean, Bob, no offense, man, but that's a dumb comment, Bob. No offense, bro. I think this big of an increase in a short period of time is justifiable to say the market is crying. I could put up a daily chart, or here's an example. I could put up a weekly chart, and I could say that these dips that we've had over the last couple weeks are small and tiny, right? You could always argue against what I say, which is what you're doing. You're just arguing against what I say, and anybody can isolate a time frame and use that to say, nah, the market's not moving up, the market's not moving down. We're obviously talking about short-term price action here. And again, if you look at the SPY, the market has ripped up pretty big amounts over the last couple minutes. Well, a 30-minute chart is a 30-minute chart, bro. Like, of course we're not talking about a 30-minute chart, dude. A 30-minute chart is looking back 10 days, okay? We're obviously talking about a minute chart if you look at the screen. Yeah, BNOX is going absolutely crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm not, maybe dumb's the word more. Maybe dumb's the wrong word. I more so should say argumentative and antagonistic is a better word. But I digress. It's all good, Bob. But yeah, man, stop just trying to argue, bro. Yeah, 30-minute chart, Todd. It's like, all right, dude. We get it. You want to argue. Maybe I'm engaging with it too much, but you know. I probably could have streamed the Apple event realistically, and it would be considered fair use. What's up, America? Mostly horizontal support, maybe. Right. When day traders say the market is ripping, they mean right now. Of course I mean right now. I'm not looking at a 10-day chart. All right, guys. Hey, we got 18 minutes. Yeah. Relative is a keyword today, 100%, dude. All right. All right, guys. So again, Sean, or not Sean. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat. $4,800. Here we come. Can gamers rent games in the Xbox store if they need to? I'm not sure. Melt up is coming to 4,800. I think we're at a pretty big support level here. I think this little dip looks good too. Thank you, Gustavo. All right, guys, we got 18 minutes. We got 400 people here. We still got a little bit under 20 minutes left until this report drops for GDP. Yeah, hopefully Microsoft does add crypto support. They already got AI locked in terms of interest. And so hopefully they do. Again, we got jobless claims and non-farm, or not non-farm payroll today. We got jobless claims and GDP data today. Again, GDP data today, guys. It'll be interesting to see if we get anything good. 2.2% is what they're expecting. 2.2%. And again, if that comes in higher, the market might still be fearing inflation. And so that might not necessarily be seen as a positive thing, if that makes sense, right? So that might not be seen as necessarily as a positive thing. Hey, bud. You look handsome today, dude. I like your haircut, bro. Nice haircut today, dude.
Wait, why does that say that?
What? That's just here. Don't. Yeah, that's just they're looking at different stuff, brother or buddy. We don't know, Shawnee. So again, higher than 2.2% would signal economic growth, which might show recession. which might show inflation fears, right? So again, the market doesn't want higher prices. My Jack's got his Lego guy. Yeah, it's cool, buddy. Hey, I love you, bud. All right. But today's kind of a big day that I got to focus on today, buddy. Yeah, left until we get it. So I got to cover this news. I love you, buddy. You look handsome today, man. You're looking good. You're looking sharp today, bro. Yeah, keep that there. Don't hurt it. I like it there, man. I like having your stuff up there, buddy. Okay, yeah, you can stick it right there. That's cool. All right, bud. Love you, man. All right, love you. Have a good day. All right. Yeah, I get it. It depends on how we look at it. And again, y'all can forgive me for I'm not trying to argue with people in chat, but one thing you'll see is that if somebody's bearish, right? If I say, hey, the market's ripping up, obviously I'm talking short term, but it's like if somebody wants to argue, they'll bring up like, oh, look at this one chart isolated at this one time frame and see the market is not ripping up. It's like, but anybody can do that with literally anything I say, and so it just kind of comes across as like people trying to poke and argue, which is a pet peeve, you know. BNOX, I'm just skeptical of it. Hey, thank you. Charizard? Yeah, we got Charizard. I bought him that a couple months ago. Yeah, we'll see. Again, Nvidia back over the previous closing price too. All right, guys, we got about 500 people here. We still got about 13, 14 minutes left until GDP data drops. Yeah, let's break that 150 likes level. I don't think, again, it depends on what the market's fearing. The problem with some of this latest economic data is the latest economic data has showed that the market fears inflation to a certain extent. Right, so if the market fears inflation, then it's not going to want higher GDP data. You know, so like the way it works is if the market's fearing inflation, it wants higher GDP data. Or no, it wants lesser GDP data. If the market's fearing a recession, which does happen, the market's going to want more economic growth, higher GDP data, lower CPI, you know, lower unemployment, so forth and so on, right? That's just kind of how the market behaves. People who want to be right rarely succeed in markets. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but there's just a lot of egos here, man. And again, I appreciate everybody I appreciate everybody that contributes to the chat. But again, it's like criticizing me saying, hey, the market's flying up, obviously talking about short term. It's just silly. It's just trying to argue, you know. Yeah. And again, I've got an ego too, of course, everybody does. But all right, guys, hey, we got 12 minutes here, about 12 minutes left. Really about 11 minutes left here. SPY still testing those high levels still. And again, I think obviously this is justifiable to say the market's pushing up. You know, I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys think this is the market moving up? I think this big increase in pre-market right now, we ripped all the way over the previous closing price, pulled back, and then broke that high again. That's a pretty strong move. I'm not saying it's going to continue up, but that's a pretty strong move. And again, we'll see what it holds here. Again, I'm watching NVIDIA pretty close. Like, I want to see what NVIDIA does. We can also look at Tesla, because Tesla, NVIDIA, you know, Apple, they all have pretty big influences over the market. Here's Apple right there at about 170. All right, guys. Still got 10 minutes left. Bye. Risk reward is the only right or wrong for sure. You're saying the Magnificent Seven stocks have a huge influence on the S&P 500 symbol? I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic or not, but of course they do, bro. Of course they do, man. Again, the big seven, like you got to think about the heavily weighted stocks in the S&P and the NASDAQ, right? So again, Apple is probably the most heavily weighted stock in both of them, I think. Let me see what the Q is. So again, the Q. All right, so the Q, Apple number one, of course, it's about 11% of the Q. Microsoft number two, about 9.5%. Amazon number three at 5.5%. Nvidia number four. Nvidia is the number four heavily weighted stock in all of these, right? Meta number five, Tesla number six, Google number 7 and 8, AVGO number 9, Costco number 10, Pepsi number 11. So that's basically what we got going on here. We also can look at the SPY and see very similar numbers. I know Apple's number one on the SPY, Microsoft's number two, Amazon's number three, Nvidia's number four, Google's number five, Tesla's number six. It's a very similar. That's why you see the NASDAQ and Tesla move with each other. Again, the thing to understand though here is that these big cap stocks move the market. And so, yeah, we'll see. We watch them a lot. Yeah, again, Volt, guys, listen, I appreciate y'all being here, but if y'all come to the stream and you only talk about Volt, and some of you guys don't, right? But like joining somebody's stream and then only talking about Volt, not really helpful to the person you're joining, man. It's low quality viewers that don't contribute anything but promoting their own cryptocurrency. And so again, I appreciate you guys being here, but like, you know, a lot of y'all are just promoting Volt, which just means you're a low quality viewer. And you might, if you don't understand like the algorithm on YouTube, you might not understand why that's not good, but it's not. And I appreciate the love, guys. Some of you guys are truly here, like, participating and all that good stuff. But some of y'all are just here to promote it and then leave. And that's just a low quality viewer. So there's like 500 total. Those other stocks dropping doesn't move as much, you're saying, though. Well, yeah, I'm talking about the heavily weighted stocks, Fu, right? So the heavily weighted stocks is, hey, low quality, that hurts. It's all love here, bro. Listen, I'm not hating. I'm just telling you in terms of the YouTube algorithm, somebody joining the stream and just promoting a cryptocurrency and then leaving is a low quality viewer, brother. I'm not in my standards, but, you know. You might think we get a short squeeze in equities. Ryan Cohen and GameStop. I thought Ryan Cohen was already the CEO, though. Big respect from Melbourne, Australia. Hey, thanks so much, bro. I'm here from 2021. Hey, thank you, Liv. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, everything's good. I'm just trying to help the Volt people understand. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you guys, but like, I gotta be real. And I think that's the truth. You think we might get a short squeeze in equities? I don't know, man. I think, again, I've drawn this trend a lot, right? Here's the trend. Here's the long-term trend we're in. And so the next week, as we test this trend, is going to be key. You can see the trend here, right? That is going to be incredibly important. Like this level right here, incredibly important. So I'm not sure about the government shutdown. I think, look at this news right here. So this news came out earlier. Yesterday afternoon, Dems and Repubs reached an agreement on a CR that will keep the government open until November 17th. So they're doing a continued resolution that's going to keep the shutdown from happening all the way back until November, which is good. You know, again, that caused the spike we had in everything. Like you can see the spike in Apple that we pushed up yesterday from. So we got that big spike. And yeah, again, we'll see if we get anything. Just wondered, do you stream? Yeah, I usually stream Fridays. Yeah, I mean, I'm all good with the Vault guys team. But again, it's not something like today's GDP day. I'm not going to talk about Vault today, man. We got to cover GDP, brother, which again is coming out at 2.2% expectations. And again, it's a really nuanced one where if GDP comes in higher, that still might not be good. Because again, that means the market might fear inflation, and if GDP's higher, inflation fears are there. Because if the GDP data is higher, that means there's more spending, and more spending in inflation terms is not good. It's bad, right? So the market does not want more spending in inflation terms. They want less spending, and so more spending is not good. It's not a good thing. It's not something that the market necessarily wants to see, and yeah, ultimately, the market's going to want less spending. The market is going to want less. We're going to put it in sub-only mode as well. We appreciate the love. So subscribe if you haven't yet. I hope you guys do it. We appreciate it. $32K on the Dow. Yeah, we'll see. Again, we'll see. Jobless claims expected at 215K. Similar nuance, right? In which jobless claims expected at 215, like 215K. Higher jobless claims signals more people filing for unemployment, i.e. less people working, right? Less people working means less people spending, which in turn is better for inflation. Now, GDP data will have a similar effect, in my opinion, where if GDP data comes in positive, like really high. The only other part of that, which is that the market is dipping over the last few weeks, right? So if the market's pulling back, recession fears are more out there. And if recession fears are more out there and we have higher GDP, that could also make the market push up as well. And so again, it's incredibly nuanced. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Yeah, appreciate it, Gain. Thanks so much, dude. Appreciate the love. I see you participating, brother. Like I said, it's not all, but, you know. And we got about 700 here. We still got about 2.5 minutes left. What's happening with gold? Gold's been on a drop, man. Gold's been dipping a lot. Gold currently sits at about under 1,900. Very weak lesson. Very weak level. I mean, yeah, we're not in a recession. GDP is expected at 2.2%. You know, and so again, we're not in a recession yet. Now, again, it's arguable about whether you think we're going to hit one or not. A lot of people think we will next year. A lot of people think we won't. Do y'all think it'll be this year though? Like in 2023? We got a minute and a half, team. A minute and a half. Yeah, for sure, Aaron. I mean, but that's the name of the game, though, in markets, you know, Aaron. So, like, one of the reasons the market gives you 10 to 12% a year on average in the S&P is because of inflation problems, right? So it's overall just keep it up with inflation anyway. So, like, the market's really just keep it up with inflation regardless. And again, that's the thing to understand is, like, long-term, the market is going to keep up with inflation. Also, guys, make sure you hit the like button and hit the live buttons. So make sure you hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. We got less than a minute left. You want to make sure your live button looks like this. So again, you want your live button to look like this here. Make sure it's red. That means you're fully caught up on stream. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream to make sure you get this alert as soon as it happens. Here we are ready. We got GDP data, jobless claims data today. 30 seconds left, 30 seconds. Again, hit the live button. Make sure you're fully caught up. Let's get ready here. 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Again, we're going to put the queue up. See what the market does. We're very flat on the day now, very flat on the day. And here's the report right here. All right, guys, so GDP data is out 2.1% as expected, 2.1%. Jobless claims came in lower than expected, which signals economic growth. Less jobless claims means more people working. More people working means more people spending. More people spending could be seen as bad, but GDP data came in as expected at 2.1%. 2.1% GDP as expected. Jobless claims came in lower than expected, which again does signal economic growth and more people working than expected here. Gold is ripping up on this news. It's at 1895s. Again, market's starting to run a little bit here on this data. 427s is where the SPY just hit the Q at 356 almost, basically 356. All right, we got about 900 people here. It is the end of September, and so September is not nicknamed Slow September for no reason. It is a very slow part of markets, very slow part of the year. It's the slowest month of markets. It's called Slow September, the September slump, and this year has been no exception. Market's starting to run on this GDP data, though. The market is starting to run on this GDP data. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Keep the growth up here, team, and see if we get some better action. Again, big bounce. Not a huge bounce, actually, but, you know, a decent little bounce. We bounced up a little bit. Dare I say the market is flying up. Don't get too mad. Again, we're at 427s here, 427s. The Q is at 355s, 355s. Next Monday is October. Again, this is the last week of September, which is usually the worst week of September. Now, we only have one day left in the week, so basically September only has the rest of today and tomorrow. Yeah, we do live the FOMC meetings as well. We cover all the major economic reports, earnings, CPI, PPI, jobless claims, retail sales, FOMC, GDP, PCE data, unemployment data. We cover all of it pretty regularly. And again, the SPY is looking nice, up to 427s. All right, guys, again, the Q up to 355, 356. The SPY is at 427.30s, 427.30s. Again, the Q at 356 almost here. Yeah, dare I say flying. You got to be careful. Again, PCE data comes in tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, we're going to put you in timeout, man, because you've already posted that, and so you're just posting like it over and over again. Gold, almost up to 1900s. Again, SPY is up a lot. The Q is up a lot. And stocks were green on the day, which is nice. We're not super green, Ruby Rod style, but we are green nonetheless. Biggest rally in history? I hope so, bro. We've been kind of buying up some stuff in this rally here. And so, or in this pullbacks, in these pullbacks that we're in now, again, anything could freaking happen here, and you just want to be careful because nobody knows what we're going to get. Anything could ultimately happen, and you want to be smart and stay safe. Green in the morning, no sunglasses. So GDP data, let me put it up on screen, guys. Let me put it up on screen. GDP data came in basically as expected. It's showing 2.1 versus 2.2%, but I was the one I was showing expected 2.1%, and so we basically came in as expected here at 2.1 to 2.2% is what GDP data came in. Jobless claims numbers came in lower than expected, which means less people filing for unemployment, more people ultimately working at 204 versus 215. And so that's a nuance of the market that you might want to check out as well. And again, we'll put this up on screen too, so you can catch both of these numbers. So again, basically GDP data was flat. Jobless claims, if you're looking for economic growth, was better than expected. And again, bump the like button, hit the notification bell. Look at the SPY rip here, guys. Again, SPY at 427.50s, the Q at 356 right now. So again, markets are liking this report. I'm not sure why. It doesn't mean much yet. And this is not the biggest move up that we've ever seen. So this is not like the greatest move we've ever seen. You know, time will tell. Time will tell. We definitely have somewhat of a reversal, and I would say this is definitely the market flying up. But again, the Q at 356. Q is reacting a little bit less than the SPY, but it's not much. Still green, still very strong. And again, if you haven't already, check out Top Step. Top Step, if you want to day trade this economic report, you can day trade the SPY and what's called the E-mini in futures. You can day trade the Q and what's called the NQ in futures. No PDT rule. It's where most pro day traders go. The patterns are very similar to stocks, but there's no PDT restriction. So you don't need 25K to do it. And these funded account programs are allowed. And it's just a great way to learn day trading with less risk. It's $49 for the base one. If you could pass their testing, they fund you 50K to 150K with a 90% split. And once you're funded, you get to keep your first 10,000 and withdraw. It's a really useful way to learn with less risk. And if you pass it and you're good enough to pass it, you know, and maybe if you're a good day trader, but you don't have that much money to put up, this is a great option, because if you're good enough to pass it, you can get up to 150K in funding with a 90% split. They've been around for over a decade. They're the most legit one in the world. And, you know, a great way to help support the channels by checking them out. I'll put this link up. They are a sponsor of mine, though. OpenAI is in talks to raise over $1 billion from SoftBank to build an AI phone competitor. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. And again, I think NVIDIA and other stocks are riding that run too. All right, so we got a little dip here. Little dip. Let me look at TradingView too, because we're kind of peeping out TradingView as well. Market dip down. Let's see if the SPY bounces at 427. It seems like a reasonable bounce spot here. All right, so market pulled back. Let's see if we bounce. This is the first major pullback we've had since the GDP release. And so again, the market ripped up and now it's pulling back some. And again, this is the first major pullback since the release. Hey, nice, Eric. Thanks so much. It being the end of September, I'm scared of any pop being a bull trap. Yeah, maybe. Again, at the end of September is historically the worst month as well. All right, so market's giving back some of these gains here. So here's the previous high. We are testing 427 right now, which is a major, major level. It's a level at which we really want to hold on the E-mini or on the NASDAQ. You know, the market really wants to hold this spot. Big pullback, fake out, dip all the way back down to 427s here. Action in stocks is way more exotic than crypto big moves. Yeah, I heard he wasn't even net short though, Prime. You know, I heard that Burry was net long and that he was hedging with those put option trades, is what I heard. You know. Hey, what's up, Roy? Hey, all good, brother. Any thoughts about gold? Gold seems to fly up. Now the market's flat based off of the GDP report. So the market ripped up, and now the market's pretty flat based off of this GDP report. So again, we'll see. We'll see. We still have pending home sales later on today. So yeah, we still have pending home sales later on today. All right, guys. All right, team. Again, we're waiting for some money to come in. All right, so again, pretty flat on the day now, man. Again, SPY slightly green, Q slightly red, pretty neutral. Sorry, bumping into my mic here, but yeah, pretty neutral day here, team. Now, I don't know. I think with both of these being kind of split, again, with GDP being negative, or GDP being neutral, I should say, at 2.1%, which is what a lot of people expected. September is the worst month in trading. Yeah, it's the slowest month too. So it's not just the worst month, it's the slowest month. Like even in terms of my channel views, right? Like generally what happens is we'll get really like November, December, January are my busiest months, and then September, August are my slowest months because the market just slows down in terms of like viewership, interest, like all that good stuff. It's pretty slow. I'm trying to see. But it starts to spark back up in October. It does. So it starts to heat back up in October. Look at the Q dip. So Q going very red on the day. Not like it's not the worst thing ever, but it's definitely not good, I would say right now. Market's just very flat. Like if you look at everything on a 5-minute chart. All right, so here's a 1-minute chart on the SPY. If you look at everything on a 5-minute chart, you'll kind of see how flat the market is right now. Like GDP data, didn't really do as much as you might think it would in terms of like historical range and volatility. And so again, you can kind of see this here, and then notice how sideways the trend is. And so yeah, now the market's kind of flying down a little bit. But like, look, here's the choppy trend that we've had basically all the pre-market session, right? Like that's it. And again, really both of these are pretty close to the previous closing price, which is here and here, right? So again, you can look at the Q, which is the NASDAQ, and see it's a little bit underneath. You look at the SPY and see it's a little bit higher, but still not necessarily good, I would say. Government's fiscal year ends September 30th. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'll link it to you, bro. I'll link it to you on Twitter. All right, so again, market's still flushing all the way back down. All right, let me go ahead and send you the playlist. What's your Twitter? It's at Beginner Trades. Again, look at the SPY start to dip back down. Again, pretty sideways, but again, more red action. Again, today and tomorrow are the last red days in September, or the last days of September altogether. So again, September, the historical worst month of the market. Needs to bounce soon. Yeah, maybe. Again, market's dumping down pretty quick. Again, this is a big fake out. I think a lot of people bought this dip and then just got dumped down afterwards, including me. I bought a little e-mini trade and got just dumped down on after that dip. And so we ripped up big and then reversed here. I wonder what the probability of a trade in which you get in right around the reversal spot. So like you move up, you break that low. I gotta imagine that's a pretty weak sign, and that a continuation in something like that's pretty high. No, we'll have to see. Yeah. Hey, thanks so much. Yeah. And again, we've been busy, man. Again, I've been dealing with some personal stuff with my kids. We got Big Papa Powell today as well. We'll see if anything good happens, man. Nvidia is holding pretty nicely. You see it happening at the open sometimes, forming a symmetrical triangle. Always budget is drawing up in September. Well, there's a lot of reasons for September being number one. Like, again, you got to understand trading is a self-fulfilling prophecy to a certain extent, right? Specifically, technical trading is. So, like, technical trading is self-fulfilling in that regard, right? So, like, technical trading, if everybody thinks the market's going to drop, what do you think happens, right? If everybody thinks the market's going to drop, the market drops, right? Why does it drop? If everybody thinks it will, it's because they're skeptical, they're selling, they're nervous, they sell, they hold their long traders less, they ended up shorting more, they're more bearish in terms of sentiment and bias because they understand how bad September historically is. And so it really is something in which it's self-fulfilling. And so when you got a really polarized month like September where everybody thinks that the market is going to drop, what happens? The market drops from it. Everybody realizes this, understands this, looks at historics, and yeah, that's generally what happens. Yeah, I'm streaming Powell for sure. Were the numbers good or bad? Well, it's more nuanced than that, Richard. I wouldn't say they're either. GDP was neutral. So GDP came in at 2.1 versus 2.2. So and a lot of people were expecting 2.1. And so I saw a lot of people expecting 2.1. So I thought it came in neutrally for GDP. Jobless claims came in lower than expected, which signals more economic growth in terms of like less people filing for unemployment. So basically lower unemployment in that specific time frame. And so again, that's better for economics, but worse for inflation fears, right? And so at this point in time, we're still pretty flat. The market has dropped substantially and dumped down pretty big here, but we're starting to bounce back a little bit. And again, looking at it in terms of where we are relative to the start of the day or yesterday's close, here's the previous closing price in both. And so again, we are right under the previous closing price on the SPY. We are a little bit more under the previous closing price. We're right under the previous closing price on the Q. And so, yeah, we're down on the day in both, but overall, relative to where we closed yesterday, we're pretty flat. All right, so again, we're bouncing up a little bit, but there's so much unknown here. And again, we do have pending home sales later, right? So we do have pending home sales at 10. I believe it's pending home sales. Let me confirm that. Yeah, so pending home sales at 10. Expectations for that are minus 0.8%. And if you don't know what pending home sales are, pending home sales measures the change in the number of homes under contract to be sold, but still awaiting close, right? So basically, how many homes are pending close? As a real estate agent myself here in Texas, that's what this is and again, we'll see. And thank you, Richard. Powell speaks at 4 p.m. today, but it's for like the Teachers Association. And so we don't know how much he's going to say about the economy, but we cover it regardless. You know what I mean? So it's all good there, bro. We'll see what he says. Hopefully he says some good stuff, but you never freaking know, man. Still got 30 minutes before the market opens here, team. So still got 30 minutes. All right, guys. Again, the Q dipping down a little bit. So is the SPY. It's so nuanced right now, man. Powell says lower interest rates coming, market climbs. Tesla dragged the market down yesterday on disappointing car deliveries. When does Tesla have another conference? Let's see. All right, so the annual meeting for I'm looking up Tesla Texas Surplus Lines Association is what I'm getting here. I don't mean that Tesla, bro. I mean actual Tesla, dude. All right, so the last one happened there. I'm looking at events. Is there any other events coming out? September. No. Any other big conferences, I guess, is what I'm looking for. Let's see if the red action stops. Again, September only has a day left after today. So we got PCE data, which is inflation data, dropping tomorrow. Very early, very important, very relevant. Yeah, catching everything else, but just try to be patient and wait. SLNO, yeah, SLNO is crazy. Car sales end of each month. Yeah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like actual events and conferences. Yeah, we sell merch. We don't push it super heavy though. Do options expire tomorrow? I mean, some of them probably do, you know. All right, so again, market's very flat, and we're really at a support level here. The NASDAQ too choppy. Again, the whole market's very flat here, team, so you just want to be understanding and careful. Well, no, we're going to cover earnings for sure. We stream all the major earnings plays. Do you think market could make another leg lower than squeeze may come from short term? I don't know, man. The market is so flat right now that who knows what we're gonna get, man. Market is so quiet. I mean, we're down, but we're honestly pretty neutral relative to the GDP report. So the GDP report released a little bit up here, but it's so sideways right now, man. The market's just not doing anything good. It's just very boring, sideways, neutral. Nah, I'm not going to play poker. Which is better is subjective. Top Step's probably better because Top Step's been around longer, has more reliable payout system, I think. But again, I'm sponsored by Top Step, so I'm of course biased in their favor. But yeah, I think Top Step's better. It's just a great way to learn how to trade with less risk, right? You just have ultimately less risk when you use a funded account program. And a lot of people are good traders. They just don't have the equity to really swing, right? And Top Step, funded account program gives them that option. It gives them that ability to actually swing with less money. The combine is $49, and most pro day traders trade futures, right? So most pro day traders trade futures. And so Top Step's probably where you want to be in that regard, because ultimately it allows them to be able to take larger risks. If you're good enough to pass, great. You get a 90% split. You're going to get a similar split to what you would put up anyway. If you're not good enough to pass, then you're going to lose less than you would putting up the money yourself. And so in both aspects, it makes perfect sense. And I think it's a great way to learn. And it's a great middle ground of pressure, where, you learn how to trade under pressure. If you lose, it's not the end of the world. But if you're good enough to pass it, you still get a lot of the similar rewards that you would putting up the money yourself. And so it's the best of both ways you look at it. And if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help the channel. They are sponsors of mine. Of course, I'm biased, but yeah, you can check it out there. If you want to learn to day trade, great freaking option. Market's really flat though right now, guys, and there's not really much there's not really much volatility. If we look at the VIX, I'm sure the VIX is probably going to be higher after GDP, but very choppy too. Under 20 is a low volatility market, which is not a shock because it is September. Yeah, then we'll see what Powell says here, man. Again, market keeps consolidating, kind of straddling back and forth to around that previous close. Also, AI tech. I think AI is the future of a lot of different things, especially like production numbers. I think AI is the future of production. I think AI is going to enable people to produce more, do more stuff, ultimately. What platform do you recommend? I like Quant Tower. I think Quant Tower is the best for me, but it's a subjective thing too. Oil bouncing back up. Yeah, I'm in Exxon. I've been in Exxon for a while. Hey, thank you, Brandon. Appreciate the love, brother. Thank you so much. All right, so again, SPY ripping back up a little bit. SPY starting to bounce back up. Yeah, so again, SPY back over 426. All right, guys, SPY at 426 is here. Look at the VIX. VIX at 18.4. Now let's just show inflation reaching target without the need for further policy tightening. I don't know, man. Looks like the cat has died on the oil at the moment. Yeah, you can have up to 3 accounts at a time, and you can always reset and try again, gain if you fail. Yeah, that's not going to happen at all. AI is not going to be restricted in terms of the jobs it replaces. That's the future of technology. And I think people are sensationalizing a little bit. Just like the automobile replaced the carriage, and a lot of people in the carriage industries lost jobs. More jobs were ultimately created on the back end from than there ever were with carriages. And so I think technological growth is something that you have to look at and not fear, because that's the way of the world. You know, if you look at the technological changes that we've had over the last 100 years or more, you know, you can't really fear it. It's something that is good for the world, and this is just going to ultimately enable people to produce more things. You know, the biggest people that are going to take the biggest hit in terms of jobs are going to be, there's 3 niches of jobs that are really going to be affected by it. One of them is writers. You know, writing is going to be very heavily impacted by AI. You know, I still think people are going to prefer obviously like real writers. But nonfiction work, I think, is going to be replaced into autonomous writing by AI to a certain extent. I think a large margin of it is going to be replaced as well. Again, where creatives are less of a thing, those jobs are going to be replaced in writing, right? So like nonfiction writing, tutorial-based writing, news-based writing, it's all going to be virtually replaced by AI eventually, right? That's one aspect of it. The other one is the other aspect of it that's going to be replaced is photography to a certain extent. Photographers are going to be replaced by AI as well. Not all of them. Like, you're always going to need photographers to a certain extent, but with how good iPhone cameras are and mobile cameras are, mixed with specifically digital editing and design, right? Digital editors and design, they're going to be almost purely replaced by AI as well, right? Like, I always use headshots as an example of this, in which, like, headshots, like, you can get a very high quality professional headshot done through selfies on your phone in 30 minutes or for $30 in less than a day, right? And if you try to pay a professional headshot photographer to do it, they're going to charge you $300, you know, $200, $100 at least, usually, from my experience. And so that job is going to be completely replaced by artificial intelligence. Again, completely replaced by it. Now, again, you're still going to need stuff like that, but it's going to be replaced without question. In that regard, the other aspect of it is going to be programmers to a certain extent, right? Programmers, you know, if AI can program things and give cleaner code, and it's not spaghetti code, and they give actual clean code, that's going to be replaced a lot by AI. The AI that we're seeing now is not quite there yet, but you got to look at the future of it and understand the growth there, because they're going to have big growth in both AI and stuff like it as well. So that type of growth is going to grow more and more and more. Customer service, those jobs are going to be replaced to a certain extent by AI. Again, not completely, but a lot of customer service reps are going to get replaced by AI because you just don't need to pay them anymore. But again, other jobs are going to form from it. It's not the end of the world. It's not something in which we should fear, because again, that's the nature of the world. Like, the nature of the world is that. Architecture, maybe. Yeah, it's definitely going to be collaborative. But again, I guess the point I'm trying to make is like, that's okay, man. Like, people fear it too much. Like, people act like it's going to turn into Skynet and become sentient and then take over the world and destroy everything. And that's just not true. Like, the risk isn't that it becomes sentient. The risk is that it replaces jobs. And yeah, we'll see. Okay, we got 15 minutes until market opens. A little bit under 15 minutes. Here's the SPY and the VIX, which we've been watching pretty closely today. Yeah, we're trading a little bit of our funded account, which we are down on today. I talked about losing on this one earlier. Again, we got one contract. This was originally a 2-contract position that we actually already scaled out of to a certain extent. I want to see if we break down more. I see the VIX pushing up some as well. Well, I don't think they're going to be running stop signs very often, to be honest. So, like, I don't think you're going to have to worry about autonomous vehicles running stop signs very much. You know, that's a human error that most autonomous driving vehicles are not going to make. Self-preservation creates awareness in AI. Well, then I think the programmers just need to be increasingly careful not to program that. I would assume AI is just tree structure algorithms, but I think it's probably, as a programmer myself, like, I think it's probably a little bit deeper than that now with how good it's been. But yeah, I would assume it's maybe just tree structure algorithms, but you never really know, and it's gotten really complex, it looks like. Yeah, we're gonna cover this too. I mean, again, this was a trade that we're probably pretty flat on now. So we made money on it, took profit, and then we held on to this last little piece. And this last little piece is turning against us some. But again, I'm gonna be patient and give it time because again, we've already made some on it. So like right now we're flat on the trade, give or take a couple of bucks or whatever it is. Again, I want to see the SPY dip down a little bit here, but watch the VIX. We could also look at the Q and the NASDAQ to see if that one's better. I still think this looks short bias. Is the only reason I'm staying in this. And I don't want to give too much back on my funded account, which might be time to cut this too. Luckily, again, this was a green trade already. I'm still kind of bearish, though. I think we're under the previous closing price. I think this was a big weak sign, and I think we're kind of bouncing back from that. But maybe I'm just being too stubborn with this one and holding on to it too long. I don't want to give too much back in my funded account, though. Really, we've had up and down action over the past 30, 40 minutes. So we haven't really had the cleanest action anyway. And with GDP data coming out, the market might be even more mixed. I know I don't want to hold this through the open, though. And so we'll give it time. All right, so we're back closer to break even here. And again, I'm just going to be patient. I'm not going to swing super heavy. I want to give it time to break down. I've been bearish, and so I haven't really wanted to cut it, and I feel like we can let it work, and now we're back to break even. So maybe that was the right decision here. All right, bounced right off of that previous level. It's so flat here. We got 13 minutes until the market opens, team. 13 minutes. Three-month at rally for all-time high and a rate hike or a slow paying downtrend. Fed saying no hikes needed. Yeah, I mean, I got my risk level here on this chart, which is right around here. I mean, again, we're green on our funded account, so we're playing with house money right now, and so I can be a little bit more risky today, but I don't really want to be. It's just so flat right now. I want to give it time to pull back, though, and so $75 down, $60 down is not the end of the world. I'd love to give it time to break down because I think it looks bearish. All right, so now we're actually green on the trade, which is nice. Again, we were trying to be patient with it, and maybe that turned out well for us. Again, I want to be patient, though, and let it break. Chicago, New York, Cali, Miami, or Seattle to live in for 12 months. Miami. Probably Miami. But I don't know. I like, again, I like Cali to a certain extent for different reasons. Definitely not Chicago. Miami's dope. Really nice place. Seattle's cool too, but they also got their problems. So I don't know. All right, 10 minutes into market opens, guys. 10 minutes. Mostly 50K Polaris, 50K combine. So it's the smaller combines. I'm a small trader anyway. I'm not one of those traders that like pushes really hard in terms of like huge monstrous gains. Small base hits makes more sense to me, and so the 50K combine was just a better natural fit to me. So again, we're still breaking down. We're up about 75 on this one now, about $75. Could be worse. Up about 100 now. I'm gonna go ahead and cover into this and take the profit, which is nice. Again, we'll see if we get something better at the opening bell. Looks like it was the right time to buy because we bounced back. All right, guys, opening at 8 minutes here. 8 minutes. Good decision, brother. Green is green. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take it. Again, market's so flat. I'm just happy to be somewhat green today. Use the stop loss at all? I mostly use my own stop loss gain. So like I use a stop loss, but it's a mental stop. It's not a physical stop. Miami is very hot and humid. Yeah, but I'm used to it. I'm from Louisiana, man, so I'm used to that. I mean, I'm already funded Polaris right now, so I'm funded in, I got funded in a couple accounts over the last month. The trade, this is in my funded account right here on the E-mini. And it looks like it was the right move to exit it too. Did you have a code for Top Step? We have our link right here if you want to check out the link. So if you want to join my link, help support your boy here, there's the link right there. Again, we got 6 minutes. We're going to be day trading some more at the opening bell with it. And again, we got Jerome Powell later on today too, which is interesting. All right, guys, so we did break down a little bit more. I probably could have stayed in my short position. All right, guys. So market's still very, 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 very flat, and the opening bell is in less than a minute. And yeah, be careful today. It's a sideways, choppy, neutral day. Yeah, y'all just be safe. It's a very choppy, boring day right now. We'll see if we get something good. I hope we get something good, man. All right, so here's the open. Mostly red action on the SPY and Q. Testing that 354 level on the Q. We'll see if we hold. SPY is breaking down a little bit as well. So again, mostly bearish action that I see at the opening bell. And so again, this is the last 2 days of September, which is the worst month of the year. All right, so now we're actually bouncing up a little bit on the SPY. I'm trying to see what's breaking down here. Specifically, what I see is Apple falling down, Netflix falling down, Microsoft falling down. Again, choppy open though, man. Isn't he ripping up? Hey, you love to see it. Where's Disney at? I added a little bit to Disney today too. Not a lot. We added 10 shares to it. But again, we did get a pop-up. But the market's still very flat at a very tight opening range. I think a lot of people are going to be watching for like opening range breakouts. I just can't trade this right now. I got to let the slump slow down a little bit or break through a little bit. Yeah. All right, so we are ripping up a little bit. The SPY's starting to rip up, and Disney almost back up to 81s. Again, we're still red on it, but it does look better. A lot of stuff starting to finally come back a little bit. Apple's still down pretty big on the day, though. I'm trying to see what's coming back. We can see PayPal bouncing back a little bit. Tesla bouncing back a little bit. Tesla had a pretty green day, or a pretty red day yesterday, though. Walgreens moving back up as well. All right, so we are getting a little dip here. We are getting a little pullback in the SPY. Big dip now, big pullback back down. Again, we're not trading this. There's no real trend or range, and so I'm just kind of sitting tight, waiting. We're hanging out. We're hoping we get some good numbers here, but yeah, I'm not gonna force anything right now until we get an obvious and like well-respected and good-looking trend. Because if not, it's just a waste of time. Oh, we also have pending home sales. I completely forgot about pending home sales. Let me mess with this real quick. All right, pending home sales, 10 a.m. 2.1% GDP growth. Very flat. The Q looks weaker than the SPY, though. If you look at the SPY and Q, the Q looks weaker. All right, so home sales data, pending home sales. See if they got any other stuff here. Again, very flat open, Q flat, SPY flat. Go Disney, go. Is Disney still ripping up? Hey, it's up to almost 81s, but it's pretty sideways too. We're 10 minutes into the open. We just don't have much action. All right, so again, super sideways, man. Is the market doing anything right now? It's very slow. We got pending home sales. I don't think that's really going to move the markets very much. Again, markets are red. Yeah. A little scared of Powell today. Powell's probably not going to do that much, though. It's a teachers' meeting, right? So it's just not a huge meeting. All right, so again, now we're starting to look kind of bearish here. We're still sideways, but if we break this low at 4,300 on the E-mini, it's looking very weak. All right, now we're popping right back up. So yeah, this is pure chop. This is one of the choppiest opens, and especially on GDP jobless claims day, you would think there would be AI. Could be the looming government shutdown, but I think they pushed it back until September. Powell comes on at 4. But yeah, this is just boring. And again, if you want a better look at trends here, again, check out Chart Prime. Chart Prime trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. I've been using this a lot today. And again, you can kind of see why. So like, look at how accurate this is. Number one, you can use this in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. You could also try it out for $1 right now. Try it out for $1, which is powerful. And so again, you can try them out for $1 right now. And again, you can back test it yourself, right? So here's Chart Prime. It's custom trading view signals and alerts. And like, look at this, right? So again, sell signal here. Let's show you the accuracy of these. Sell signal here, dips. Reversal down, dips. Buy signal here, bounce. Sell signal here, drop. Reversal down signal here, drop. Buy signal, bounce. Possible reversal up in a bullish engulfing candle, bounce. Reversal up, bounce. And so again, every one of these has worked basically for the last few hours. And again, my favorite way, and there's also, look, you can see chart patterns and use that to influence it. And look at when it actually breaks out of this chart pattern. Like, look at this trend. It worked really, really nicely. Like, really, really nicely. That's cool. Like, that's something that I think is very powerful. What I love to use it for as well, like the other one I like to use here, and you can use this on any time frame, 1 hour, 5 minute, whatever time frame you want, you can use it on. But I also think that the regular market oracle on a 5-minute chart is the most powerful one out of all of them, right? They happen less, and you can set alerts for these. So you can set alerts as these happen, right? But like, look at this. So again, I'm gonna challenge you to back test this yourself. It costs $1 right now. You can try it out for 2 weeks for $1 right now, and I challenge you to back test this yourself. Okay, look at the reversal signal in a bullish engulfing candle. Look at if that happens next to each other. Watch how high the accuracy rate is. And again, I can't fake this. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, but just watch. Okay. Reversal up signal, bullish engulfing candle. Boom. Really nice upward action. This is like an hour and a half of green action, just to put this into perspective. Again, bearish engulfing candle and a reversal down signal. Again, an engulfing candle and a reversal signal. Boom. Look at that. Look at how powerful that is. Again, possible reversal up in a bullish engulfing candle. Boom. Another hour and a half bounce. And again, we can keep going here. So again, that's 3 for 3 just to show you these charts. And again, we can keep going. Again, you might consider this one where we had a reversal down in a bearish engulfing candle and you got drops, but they weren't super close together. So let's look at the ones where they're really close together. Again, here's another one. Bearish engulfing candle and a reversal down signal. Boom. Nice bounce. And this one really kept on dropping too. And this is not even including just the regular reversal signals. We can keep going here. This is the one that you might be able to consider that was wrong. Maybe the one out of what, 4 or 5 at this point. And then again, same thing here. Look, 2 bullish engulfing candles and a reversal signal. Boom. Nice bounce. Again, we can keep going. Again, same thing here. And so what is that? Like 7 and 1? Boom. Bounce. And again, you really can keep going with this. This is on the S&P 500 E-mini chart. Chart Prime. Check it out. Again, $1. You can try it out for $1 right now. You can use this promo code $1. Again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money, but powerful, in my opinion. Powerful. Check it out. From my understanding, the government shutdown is pushed back until November, I think. Right? I think it's pushed back until November. You can look out the link right there. Check it out. Great way to help support the channel. Again, market is very, very flat. There's just no range right now. We haven't taken any trade since the opening bell. And some days you're just not meant to trade. All right, pending home sales, guys, in 13 minutes. Pending home sales in 13. Again, really, we got Chart Prime here, and we're just waiting. Such a chop fest, though, man. The market sucks today. There's no real good edge. And again, man, the only way to really trade this is to short the top and cover at the bottom and then rinse and repeat that. I don't know of any other better way to take these. Again, my hands are off. I mean, I'm just not doing anything right now. I just don't see anything that looks good. Nothing really that looks worth it. You can bet that the market's going to crack down here, but we're going to go ahead and buy this just because we're around the bottom. And we'll see if we get a little pop up. There we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and cover that. Shout out to Chart Prime. Again, I got alerts on TradingView. And so, not too bad. Could be worse. A little gain there. I'll take it. Such a flat market right now, though. Yeah, so again, a lot of people ask me to like test chart prime. Again, if you look at my alerts, see if it'll show me my alert history. Where do I see my alert history? Right, I got an alert just now on chart prime. And again, it was this reversal alert. We didn't actually have the engulfing candle, but even if you look at just these regular alerts, like they can be useful. But again, we got this alert and the market has ripped up from it on a short-term basis. Look at the Q rip up, look at the S&P rip up. Everything's starting to fly back up. Man, what a boring day though, dude. This day is not good at all. We do have pending home sales. Maybe that'll look better, but still got a couple days until the month is up. Look at the market start to rip, going green on the day. Finally, some bull action. And again, shout out to Chart Prime. They got it absolutely right. Again, if you want to check out more, check out the link in the description because they got that right. Again, I told you guys this. And again, you guys can see right afterwards what happened. All right, so we're starting to finally bounce back up a little bit. Now, part of me wants to go long, but yeah, maybe the news is stopping it. Again, we got 5 minutes until the news comes out. I don't think the news is going to move markets much either, though, to be honest. SPY started to look good, though. I mean, we're starting to head back up. But yeah, I just don't think the news is going to move markets like that. All right. So again, we got a little dip. Part of me wants to buy this dip. Again, I guess I want to buy the dip, but I think it's risky. But we'll see. So we bought the dip. Pending home sales data drops in 2 minutes. And so ideally, I'd like to get out of here before pending home sales data drops. Very sideways market right now. No. A minute left. I was very close to cutting it, but then we have this hammer candle forming. Pretty much flat on the day now. Or flat on the trade, I should say, sorry. Yeah, asteroid. Is it really, though? I've heard a lot of stuff about that. All right, guys, 45 seconds. All right, so there we go. Nicely green. Trying to push. Slightly green. We'll at least, like, hold this break even now. Nice. All right, we're going to go and cut that there. All right, so here goes the report in 10 seconds. Which, again, I don't think is going to move the market that much. All right, so here's pending home sales data. It came in at 7.1% negative. So minus 7.1%. I think this is going to be seen as a really good positive because it's going to mean the real estate market's not in as big of a bubble and inflation worries. And so, yeah, this is actually pushing the market up a lot. Pending home sales came in at minus 7.1%. So that means roughly 7% less homes pending in the market right now, which is good, which is very good. All right, so ripped up originally, pulling back some now. I think the extension is on the downside anyway, longer term. And so we're going to try another trade here and just take the risks on the gains that we've already made. Nice. I'm going to add a little bit more to this and see if we can pop back up. 2 contracts now. There we go. Go ahead and lock some more of that profit in. So we've actually been pretty accurate on the day in terms of day trading since the opening bell. We lost some in pre-market though, so we're kind of playing catch up for that. Nice. Market's popping up more. I'll let it keep working. Yeah, we're green on the trade as you guys saw, but all right, so we're gonna add to this and see if we get a quick pop up, and if we don't, we're gonna cut it and just be mostly break even since the opening bell. Might still be red on the day though. We lost a little bit in pre-market, but I want to give it a chance to bounce back quick and retrace, which it just did. Let's see if it holds up here though. Very close. There we go. Flat now. All right, we took half off there, just locked that in. So we can make some more gains. Nice. And go ahead and lock that in, which is fine. I'll definitely take that. Green in stocks as well, but could be a better day, but it's all good. And yeah, I'll go ahead and close it down. If you haven't already, you want to day trade with me on Top Step funded account program and futures, in which they give you a demo, they test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you between 50K up to 150K with a 90% split. A great way to learn how to day trade with less risk, and ultimately just good for learning to trade. You know, if you put the money up yourself, most day traders lose. Top Step's a great way to learn, great way to grow, great way to learn how to trade with less risk. And I think in that regard, it makes perfect sense. If you're learning how to trade and you don't want to risk thousands of dollars like it takes, these funded account programs give you a demo, test your skill. If you can hit the target while following their rules, they fund you. And so just really useful for learning how to trade. And, you know, again, they're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased in their favor. I can't guarantee you're going to make money. In fact, I think most people trying this are going to lose because most day traders lose, right? But that's not Top Step's fault. They're going to lose regardless of where they go, and it's a lot cheaper to lose on Top Step. And so there's the link. Check it out. Great way to help support the channel. Again, check out Chart Prime as well. Link for that is in the description. You can try them out for $1 right now. For $1, we plugged them a little bit earlier. We showed how accurate the regular market oracle could be if you mix it. And again, this one came up on screen. You can see the reversal up signal. Look at that beautiful bounce we called. This one called it too. And so for $1, you can try out for $1. Check out the link in the description. Love you all. Y'all be safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow.